So Birdman is a drama directed by Alejandro Gonzalez Inarritu, and it's a very unique film for one particular reason. It is all, except for the beginning and the end a little bit, it is all one continuous shot. So yeah, if you watch movies frequently, you know, like when someone's talking, like they cut to here, and they cut to here, and they cut to over here, and like when people are having conversation, it goes back and forth. Birdman doesn't do that. It flows into the next scene. It works well because it takes place in a theater. There's lots of confined spaces, and like they can go to the dressing rooms and Michael Keaton's room, and then the actual play, and then outside and around the theater, and then down the street. I think it's a good location choice for this style of filmmaking, which is very unique and really, really cool. Like if you didn't know that I knew that going in, so I was like, yeah, that is nice. So at the beginning is like a rocket coming down, and then it switches to something else. I'm like, that's not one shot. What are they talking about? But once the actual film starts, it doesn't stop until the end. And when it does happen, it's jarring and shocking. It's like, because it goes like out windows and up through the air and through like day and night. You can kind of tell where the transitions are because it wasn't all filmed at one shot. It wouldn't be. It's impossible because of how the day and night cycle works. But it's really cleverly edited. I think it's like 3 or 4 or 5 long takes. Like when it goes in and out of the bar, like it flashes black for a minute before he opens the door. Like you can tell, like, oh, if they wanted to, they could have started another shot there. But all in all, that alone is a reason enough to see this movie, which also happens to be a very good film. So Michael Keaton played Birdman. He was a superhero in the superhero movies back in the 80s, and stopped being him like in 89 or 92 or whatever, which is where Batman and Batman Returns came out respectively. So I don't know if Birdman's real. I didn't look it up. But it's like, oh, I was kind of down on his luck. He's not really doing good. He owns this like little drama theater group, so he's putting this play together. He's like, I want to matter. I want to mean something again. I want to show people that I can still act. And that's what he does. So he put the whole movie is them trying to get this play together. And then this critic who wants to like slam is like, I'm going to give your play a bad review without even watching it. There's 3 preview nights, and before the actual play releases, and they're everything that could go wrong goes wrong. It's a horrible mess. And he's like, oh, and I feel so bad for Michael Keaton. So acting in this movie, fantastic. Michael Keaton better get nominated for, I'm gonna stop using that, like better get nominated for Oscars, because really, it's the Oscars. Who cares? I mean, come on. Michael Keaton, top-notch acting. Edward Norton was also very good in this movie, because he plays like, because initially comes on, he's like, oh, he's Edward Norton, you know, he's an actor, he's got like his hat and his scarf. But then when he's actually acting, he's like in one of the scenes he's drinking actual gin. He's like, he gets really into the role, so it's like Inception, because he's acting that he's acting. He's a very, very entertaining character to watch. And he's just like, Michael Keaton's like, Edward Norton, God, ruining my play. For the most part, Michael Keaton is a very, calm guy. This movie is very, very well directed, very, very tense. It's like when because they're practicing these scenes and they're going over the scripts and the lines and everything. It's like, okay, and they're working it out. And I have some background in theater. Granted, I haven't actually been in a play, but I do have experience in acting, so I know what it's like. And then when he's first walking out on stage, because the camera's following him from like the green room to on stage to like behind the curtain in the wings, and like there's this flood of people all of a sudden, and it feels like the space really opens up. And you're like, I feel nervous for Michael Keaton, because I've watched out on stage before, and it is nerve-wracking. Like, so many people. And that's the thing, it's not even, these are the previews. It's like, no one cares about the previews. Edward Norton keeps trying to tell Michael Keaton. And I don't know if Michael Keaton was nervous or something. That's just how I feel. It was my connection to the movie. Whatever. Emma Stone is in it. She plays Michael Keaton's daughter, and she's like a drug addict. And she gives a monologue where, that's one thing. Aside from, Michael Keaton and Edward Norton are always fantastic. Emma Stone gives a monologue where she does that like smiley thing where she's Emma Stone. She's like, when she's getting really upset and her eyes are kind of bulging out of her head. And as much as I love Emma Stone, I'm like, okay. I wasn't really feeling it in that monologue. It wasn't like bad acting. It was just over the top. Same thing, and early in the movie with Zach Galifianakis, he like goes ballistic that no one's like, because he's trying to help Michael Keaton manage the play. And he's like, it came off as whiny. And I'm like, dude, Michael Keaton has like, may or may not have superpowers. Like, you're not sure if it's in his head or not, because he's like flicking things around with the force. Like, he gets in his room, he comes really mad after a scene, and he's like breaking stuff, going, he's going like, the music is also very, I mean, it's very jazzy, like it's mostly drums. And one of the cool things is when Michael Keaton's walking down the street, like the music is playing with the drums, and the camera kind of goes, and then there's a guy doing the drum music just out in the street. And I don't know if people do that in New York, but all in all, it is a very stylish movie. It's very, very well shot and very, very well put together. They do the same scene a couple different times with different ways and stuff, and some of the improv is just awesome, because the part in the trailer where Michael Keaton's like walking the street with his underwear, he's stranded like in the middle of a scene, and he's got to come in and act on that part. And then there's a part near the end when they're doing the scene again. Again, I'm not going to spoil it, I'm just saying, you figure out that something's going to happen, but you know you're not going to see it for like a couple more minutes, and you're like that tense for the whole scene. You're like, oh. This won't become a trend or anything, but I do hope more people come up with a creative filming style. All in all, Birdman is an outstanding film. It is a very, very, very fresh film. It is like a very solid 9, and one of my favorite films of the year so far, and will definitely be a big player at the Oscars. I realize the Oscars aren't exactly tailored to me, or whatever, but I like to watch the Oscars. I like to follow them, and it's like a 3.5 hour event with music and stuff. And they're fun. I mean, even if movies that deserve to win don't even get nominated, Desolation of Smaug, that's okay. I mean, I guess it's just an opinion, but like, even though I realize that there's some big issues with the Oscars and how things are done, but it's not nearly as bad as the VGAs. Oh my gosh. Did you watch VGX 2013? That was terrible. So yeah, Birdman, go see it. It's awesome. Like and subscribe. See you guys later. Bye. You're Birdman.